Hi everybody, it's Nick McDonald here from Trade with Precision. Welcome to this week's Trade with Precision free newsletter. Thank you for watching our video. Just want to take you through today why traditional technical analysis is obsolete and just show you what trading strategy precision style looks like. To those of you that have been around Trade with Precision for a while, this stuff should be quite familiar to you. To those of you that are more new or haven't joined any of our webinar content, this might be quite new to you guys. So let me just take you through it and show you some of the reasons why, and then also just give you an opportunity to join a free webinar where we go into this in much more detail. In fact, this content is taken from a free webinar that I'm doing in around about 24 hours time from as I record this video. Okay, so moving into the content. Technical analysis factors that we ignore are things like head and shoulders patterns, double tops and double bottoms, cup and handles, triangles, all varieties of triangles. That means ascending triangles, descending triangles. You can put some of the pennant patterns and things in there as well. Hammers, dojis, shooting stars, all candlestick patterns, indicator buy and sell signals, which are traditionally lagging, golden crosses and dead crosses on moving averages, just most traditional technical analysis. This is all obsolete. Now let me show you some of the reasons as to why. For example, a head and shoulders pattern. We have an uptrend making higher highs and higher lows. All that happens now is we make a lower high and a lower low. So here is where the trend changes. Lower high, so LH for lower high. We break down through there to a lower low, and we've got a change of trend. It just so happens people will say this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder here. If you understand trends, who cares what it looks like? The same is true for a head and shoulders bottom. It just makes a higher low followed by a break up to a higher high, and we have a head and shoulders bottom. It could look like this. It could look like what's called a double bottom, but still the same thing is true. Here we make a higher low, and we break up through here to a higher high. If we just master trends, we know these patterns. The same is true for a bull flag, for example. We rally up, we have a little pullback, then we rally again. We make a higher low, we break to a higher high. The fact that people say this looks like, this part here being the flagpole and this being the flag is ultimately quite silly and irrelevant. Just helps sell books. If you understand trends, you understand head and shoulders, you understand double tops and double bottoms, you understand bull flags and bear flags. Equally triangles, right? If we have a ascending triangle or something pushing and pushing up against a flat level, and it starts to look like a kind of a triangle type pattern, ultimately we have equal highs, we have higher lows, right? So each new low is higher than the previous up through here. And then as we're pushing up against that level, we don't have higher highs, we don't have a confirmed trend. But as soon as we break that, we've now got a higher low followed by a break to higher highs. Now we're back to that definition of an uptrend. We're in an uptrend again, and it's just simply the point to buy the break of that level is to join the trend. So ultimately, this stuff, understanding all of these different patterns is ultimately, in our opinion, a waste of time. Master the trend. Higher highs and higher lows for an uptrend, lower highs and lower lows for a downtrend. People think it's too easy to be important. At Trade with Precision, we teach you that it's the most important thing you'll ever learn as far as technicals go. So important that I just can't possibly stress it enough. Those of you that go on to do further work with us, I'll just stress it constantly over and over and over again. And the reason I do is because no matter how much emphasis I put on trends and we at Trade with Precision put on trends, people still don't get it because they think that other stuff must be more important, like indicator buy and sell signals, which ultimately are lagging and are going to give you signals in hindsight once price has already moved, therefore are a waste of time. Golden crosses and dead crosses, thank goodness, are ancient history and most people don't use those anymore. But traditional technical analysis is still out here. Cup and handles are just a big looking cup like this. We make a higher low, we break up to a higher high. Just so happens that this looks like the cup and this the handle, but all that's happened is we've made a higher low and we break up through here to a higher high, and we've changed trend. Master the trend, you know every single pattern that you need to know. Candlesticks are another story. Slightly different to what I've been drawing on the screen, but still each individual candlestick is one factor, one ingredient. Same as each of these strategies. I would never place a trade just because I see this head and shoulders pattern, or this head and shoulders pattern, or this cup and handle, or this cup and handle pattern, or either of these double tops or bull flags or anything. They're all one ingredient. Placing a trade because I see any one of those is the exact equivalent of trying to bake a chocolate cake with a cup of sugar. You can't do it, right? It's one ingredient. We need multiple ingredients. We need a strategy to combine together to create a recipe in order to actually go away and bake a chocolate cake. So what technicals do we use? Well, number one is trends. We need to just put so much emphasis on trends and getting so good at them. We also use moving averages and look at moving averages in combination with the trends. Some of you might say, well, hold on, moving averages are lagging. Yes, they are in the traditional sense. We don't use them in the traditional sense. We use candles, but we look at the only 3 candlestick patterns that matter. There is only 3: bullish, bearish, and decisive. Every single candle pattern is one of those 3 things, so who cares what it's called? We don't need to know dojis, hammers, shooting stars, and hanging men. We just need to know bullish, bearish, indecisive. It tells us everything. If we can read the candle, we don't need to know the name. We look at support and resistance, very, very important. We look at convergence between price and indicators, and also divergence between price and indicators. So we're using those in the not in the traditional sense, but in a leading sense. We're using them to predict what price will do, as compared to lag what price will do. We look at divergence. We look at Fibonacci pivot points, and we look at clusters of these support and resistance levels, and we look for these things across multiple time frames. Those 11 things on the screen there summarize what we do across all of our courses, all of our products at Trade with Precision. So technicals versus trading strategy. Technicals are very much the ingredients. We go into more detail on those in the top ingredients for successful trading webinar that ran last week, but it will run again in a few weeks' time, so watch out for it if you haven't joined that one. But there's more cons than pros in the traditional sense, because you can't bake a chocolate cake with one ingredient, i.e. a cup of sugar. It's not just high quality ingredients that matter, it's how you put them together. And that is our specialty, trading strategy, the recipe. We teach the high quality ingredients, and we believe ourselves to be very good at that by disregarding what doesn't matter and focusing on what does matter, like the 11 ingredients we just showed you, then getting really good at mastering those ingredients. But still, strategy is often confused with technical analysis. People out there will say to you, here's a strategy, buy when price breaks a pivot point. Rubbish, that's not a strategy. That's like saying, here's a dozen eggs, bake a chocolate cake. Impossible. Equally, people will say trade when I trade a head and shoulders patterns. That's my strategy. Rubbish. You can't make money with head and shoulders patterns. I mean, it could be their strategy, but you can't make money with it any more than you can bake a chocolate cake with a cup of flour. Just not going to happen. We need to take multiple ingredients, combine them together, and turn them into a recipe. That's what a trading strategy is, combining multiple technical analysis ingredients. And essential for trading success. I won't say it's the secret to trading success. There's a lot more to it. Risk management, trading psychology, all important components, and we teach all of those things. So I'd like to just invite you guys to join me for this week's free webinars. And the free webinar topic, specifically the next one, is trading strategy precision style. These slides were taken from that, and I'd just like to go through these in much more detail with you with a whole hour. It's been a little while since I've run one of these free webinars at Trade with Precision, so hopefully, even if you have seen this one before, you'll be able to come and join me and learn something from me on that session as well. If you'd like to join me for that, all you need to do is visit tradewithprecision.com. You can either type in /free webinars, or you can just click here on free live webinars, and you're going to see the next one off the block in actually just 22 hours time from as I speak is trading strategy precision style. I'll be going into a lot more detail on the factors we just discussed on this newsletter today. That's Tuesday 15th of October in most of the world. It's actually the next day in some of the world, Australia and New Zealand. Then after that I have another one which I'm also running. It's only about 12 hours after the first, high performance trading for a busy lifestyle, and this is just you can read the description here, but ultimately going into more details about how you can choose the hours you work and how you can fit trading around a busy lifestyle, which, let's be honest, we pretty much all have these days. Dates and times are there. You can come and register on the website, and I will be running both of them. That's at tradewithprecision.com /free webinars, and you'll also see the link posted below this video.